The Xiaomi Pad 6 is an exciting successor to the Pad 5. Once again, Xiaomi competes directly against the flagship tablets from Samsung and Apple. New features include a 144Hz display, there's a revised stylus and new hardware. How well does it compete against its competition and predecessor? That's what you will learn in this review. We will start this review with the screen because there's an important new feature here. The Xiaomi Pad 6 is the first tablet to be released with a 144Hz display. The flagships from Samsung and Apple as well as the Pad 5 predecessor manage 120Hz only. This makes animations look especially smooth, but I have to admit that it's really hard to see a difference to 120Hz. You can lower the frequency in the settings to save the battery. Here 90Hz is a good compromise. Other aspects of the screen are also very good. It's an 11-inch IPS display with a nice high resolution of 2880 by 1800 pixels. Text and icons look very sharp even when you hold your nose directly in front of it. It's fully laminated, of course, viewing angles are stable, and it's very bright. I was able to work well with it outdoors. The display is therefore a highlight, especially at this price, and has the qualities of a flagship tablet. It is equally suitable for movies and TV shows because it has a wide level of L1, and thus you can watch Netflix with HD resolution. Furthermore, the 4 speakers on the sides are excellent, almost as good as on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8. Before we continue, a quick thanks to our sponsor ExpressVPN. With the VPN you can protect your data online. It means you can hide your IP address and encrypt your network data. This way you will be safe even if you're outside connecting to a bit dodgy Wi-Fi. You can also use ExpressVPN to change your location and watch shows and movies that aren't available in your country. You can also save a lot of money because many travel portals show different prices for different locations, and often your location is not the cheapest. ExpressVPN is available for Windows, macOS, Android, iOS, Linux, and even many smart TVs. My Next Tablet viewers get 3 months free if you opt for the annual plan. To do that, just go to expressvpn.com/mynexttablet and you will get 3 months for free. You can also find the link in the description. Back to the Xiaomi Pad 6, you can use an active pen to write on the screen, which you have to buy separately, just like on the predecessor. I think it's quite a shame that the old pen does not work with the new tablet. However, the new stylus works with the old Pad 5. Well, the stylus is white this time and somewhat resembles the Apple Pencil. The hard tip is also very similar. On the sides, the stylus has 2 buttons that it is charged via induction on top of the tablet. The pen of the predecessor was already pretty good, and the new one is finally on the level of the S Pen or Apple Pencil in terms of quality. It's nice and precise, responsive, and handwriting looks clean. I was able to draw and write with it well, and an artist who I often let test pens and tablets also liked it. Regarding the stylus, the only drawback remains the software. You can install apps for the stylus from the Play Store, of course, and they work great. But with Samsung Notes, the Galaxy Tab S tablets have a really good note-taking app that is not available for Xiaomi. And Apple also has many really good features for the Pencil and even more optimized apps in the App Store. Unfortunately, Xiaomi lacks all that, and the apps optimized for pens in the Play Store are limited. However, a few standard features are pre-installed. For example, you can create and edit a screenshot, and those features work well. The Xiaomi Pad 6 is equipped with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 processor, which is supported by 8GB to 12GB of RAM and 128GB to 512GB of internal storage. Unfortunately, they do not offer an LTE option, and GPS is also missing. A stronger version would be the Xiaomi Pad 6 Pro, but I don't think it will be released outside of China. The Snapdragon 870 is a slightly older flagship processor, and thus the performance in benchmarks like Geekbench 5 is a good bit better than the predecessor, but it's weaker than the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8, and the Apple iPad Pro is much more powerful anyway. The 3D Mark Wildlife test, which examines the graphics performance, also shows exactly that. Here, the performance is significantly better than that of cheaper tablets like the Xiaomi Redmi Pad or Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE. But the Samsung S8 remains more powerful. It's also very interesting that the graphics performance in Geekbench is better on the Lenovo Tab P11 Pro Gen 2. However, it's really hard to notice the difference to the S8 or Lenovo in real life. Multitasking works well even with multiple apps, and the Xiaomi hardly stutters when you quickly switch between apps. The same is true for Samsung. My gaming test shows the same. I was able to play PUBG Mobile well with Ultra HD graphics. It runs nice and smooth and looks good too. The same goes for the racing game Asphalt 9. Genshin Impact also needs a lot of graphics power, and the role-playing game also runs smoothly, so it's definitely suitable as a gaming tablet. Compared to the predecessor, Xiaomi has improved the design. The basic design is similar, but while we had a plastic back on the Pad 5, we get a full metal body on the Pad 6. This makes it feel a bit more premium. However, it's not built quite as high-end as the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 or Apple iPad Pro. The transition from the display to the body is not quite as elegant as in the more expensive rivals. Xiaomi has copied a bit too much from Apple for my taste. Not only is the headphone jack missing, but also a micro SD card slot, so you cannot easily expand the storage. A fingerprint reader is also missing, and it supports facial recognition using the webcam only. While that works fine, it's not very secure. However, it's nice that we get a USB-C 3.2 port that can also be used for connecting external monitors. This works well, and it's convenient when you also connect a mouse and keyboard. However, it's a shame that there's no desktop mode and the screen is mirrored only and not expanded. There's an 8 megapixel webcam in the center front, which can also be used for decent video chats. On the back is a 30 megapixel camera with a depth sensor, which takes good pictures and videos. Almost nothing has changed regarding the optional keyboard cover. Nevertheless, the cover of the predecessor is not compatible with the Pad 6. That's very disappointing and means you've got to buy it again. It's a lightweight keyboard cover that magnetically connects to the tablet. When folded, the back and the display are protected, but the sides can get scratches. I think it's a shame that you can set it up at one angle only, and when getting some real work done, I'm missing a touchpad. The keyboard itself is okay. Among other things, I wrote this test using it, and it worked well. Well, but it is not outstanding. Compared to Samsung and Apple, it feels a bit cheaper, and every now and then a few little things don't work. For example, the spacebar does not respond when I hold down the Shift key and want to write several words in large letters. Sure, this is only a minor issue, and overall the keyboard cover is good, but it could be better with a touchpad and several angles. The Xiaomi Pad 6 runs Android 13 with MIUI version 14, the later being Xiaomi's own interface. When I reviewed the predecessor, I said that it's uncertain if it will get any updates. Here, Xiaomi positively surprised me and actually released major software updates for both the Pad 5 and the cheaper Redmi Pad. Therefore, I assume that Xiaomi will also take care of updates for the Pad 6. As typical for Xiaomi, the interface is very customized, and many Xiaomi apps are preloaded, including a dedicated browser and a Notes app that looks like a bad clone of Apple Notes. I don't like the Xiaomi apps, but most of them can be uninstalled anyway, and I use the ones from Google and Microsoft instead. In the end, the interface is okay and works just fine. I have the Chinese version here, which often lacks the Google Play Store out of the box. However, you can simply install it yourself, and some stores will install it for you. However, I generally recommend waiting until the Pad 6 is regularly available in your country, because then you will have the Google Play Store and proper warranty and support. In my battery test, the Xiaomi Pad 6 got a runtime of 8.15 hours. I think that's a pretty good result, especially because the display is very bright and I ran the test at 144 Hz. If you switch down to 90 or 60 Hz, the battery will last a few hours longer. So, can I recommend the Xiaomi Pad 6? Yes, I definitely can. It's definitely one of the most interesting tablets of the year, and it's especially exciting if you're looking to save money compared to flagship devices, because it offers a nice display, a good pen, a high quality build, powerful hardware and up-to-date software. However, it cannot completely replace flagship tablets. The software for pens in particular is better on Samsung and Apple devices. Furthermore, the keyboard cover of Xiaomi could be a bit higher quality. But Apple in particular is much more expensive, and it's okay if you have to make a few compromises to get a much cheaper price. For this review, I also compared the Xiaomi Pad 6 with the Xiaomi Redmi Pad, and again thought that it is quite a good deal, at least if you do not need top performance, and you can save a lot of money and still get a great tablet with this Redmi Pad.